Press subscribe.
Press subscribe.
Press the bell.
Press the bell.
Press like.
Press like.
Change your life one word at a time.
Good morning to you and you. Mark, Paul, John and Luke. Good morning everybody. So, how are we doing? The market is going crazy. It is crazy. But I've got my sea moss, I'm keeping healthy. How are you guys keeping healthy? Got my sea moss, my Irish moss. And we are all about investing. I'm looking at the stock market right now. Later on we can look at some Bitcoin and Ethereum and some other cryptocurrency. But it's more important that we invest in our minds, invest in our brains, invest in our life, in our spiritual life. So it's all about affirmations every day. We're thankful it's Friday. So I get my daughter, my children to say, I'm smart, I'm strong, I'm wise, I'm powerful. It's going to be a great day. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. So what is going on? We can see right now Gamestop is dropping 30%. It's at $65. Remember, it's gone from $400 all the way down. It's looking at $65 now. We got AMC, which is a cinema, AMC Entertainment, down from $13 because down to $7. That was once at 22 with a short squeeze. So it's all going down. Remember yesterday we looked at this chart and the question is, some are saying we are at the top here, so that's why it's all going down, whereas some are saying we're actually here. So this is following a Volkswagen short squeeze in 2008. So you can see it went up crazy, like 2x from 200, 400 then, and then it crashed and went down, and then some still expecting a big thing. But what is most encouraging, what we need to know, because many people are saying it's crashing because the news is reporting that the short interest, where is it? The short interest is no longer high. Because remember, all of this was because the short interest was over 100%, was too high. Remember, even 10% is too high, 20% is too very high, but over 100%. Remember, shorts is saying that the company is going to go down, and you've got certain stocks available. Stocks outstanding is how much stocks the whole company has. So say GME had 70 available stocks that could be bought. 27% of that's locked up to the insiders, so you've got 47 million that's meant to be for anyone can buy. But yet 100%, 130% was linked to shorts, because shorts is when they're borrowing stocks, they're not really going to buy it yet, they're going to borrow it, the hedge fund people, and they're waiting for it to drop and buy it back lower. Or if they're happy, the company goes bankrupt and they don't even have to buy it back. So that's how shorts work. But what is going on? Lots of different numbers right now saying, oh, it's gone from 140% to now it's only 40%, so the short interest thing is over, although 40% is still high. So I'm going to say, no, it's actually 120%. There's so much data. But what we actually see, the official news is no one actually knows, because they're using the algorithms. We know what it said in the reporting house here is, where's my file? Yeah, so companies have to declare their short interest twice every month. So we can see here the next one is they need to file it. Due date is between the 2nd of February, 6 p.m. and then it becomes public knowledge in all exchanges by February the 9th. So how many days is that? So 5 days before it's official that we definitely know what the short interest position is on GME, because that might change a lot of things as well. But another thing that's interesting, even though somehow it's crashing, and we looked at what could be happening. Remember, on my last video I talked about short attacks and short ladders where hedge funds are selling it between themselves and making it look like people are selling, and then the news as well coming and saying it's over and people saying, so that's all about attacking it, shorts attacking to make it look like things are failing. But what we also realize is this all started with the Reddit community. And on Reddit, there's this main guy that each day he posts his holdings, and he's got 50,500 position in GME. So each day he's showing he's not selling, and those positions are worth millions. So that inspires many people. If he's not selling, then the rest of the community is selling because he's still holding. So through this crash, later on we'll see if he posts again, but he's not selling. Many other people are still buying. So why is it dropping is the question. Or if it's following the Volkswagen, it could be doing this dropping and still spike up. But again, I'm following this because it's more than investing for me now. Because later on, I'll remember this is not financial advice. You should not jump on this. You should be getting into investing, but with more safer ways, with a strategy, with a plan on your small caps, medium caps, your large caps, if you want dividends, things like that. So a proper plan. Why I'm enjoying this as well is because the stock market is a reality show. You just get paid being involved in it. So, and I'm about the ethical part, because remember, shorts is all about trying to bankrupt the company. What we were there to try and target companies to ban them, to make them fail and make people lose their jobs and all this. But with all this going on, what we've actually done, we can see AMC, which is a big cinema in America and stuff, we've saved them just by investing in them. So AMC was another one that had only like a 40% short interest, but by everyone saying we're going to buy and hold until it gets back to $1,000 and stuff, we've saved them. So what they've done, they're no longer declaring bankruptcy, we can see here, and they're open in many places. And I didn't even know AMC was a cinema when I got involved in this. I didn't even know. Because the next thing, while it was dropping, another thing I did buy on the dip. So in normal, I bought more on the dip to bring my average down. Because say I bought it at $15, it's been dropping to 7. By buying, now that'll average my price down, because 15 to 7, what's the difference of 8? So it will minus my price, so now I'm in at 12 or something. So it brings your price down. Although this is more on a strategy when you know the company's going to go up. So that's what you do. Many people buy high and then they get scared and sell. But really, when things are dipping, it gives you opportunity to buy, especially with Bitcoin and Ethereum. When things dip in price, that is a discount. That's a sell price. That's time to actually buy, especially when you know and you trust the market is going to go up. So that's more when it's like things that you know are going to go up. It's more risky in AMC and all these other stuff is more risky. But in a way why it might not be risky, because actually these companies are no longer going bankrupt. So you could find it's a nice price, AMC, around $7 right now, when Corona and COVID is all over and cinemas are fully open and stuff like that. You can see it might go back to its good times and years before, how it was performing. Let's see what kind of prices it used to have. So AMC stock. And then with GME as well, we see even those. So they have appointed, so I think I had a tab here, they have appointed new people. So they're not going bankrupt anytime soon either. They've got new people on the board, a billionaire from a pet company, and new execs, and they're trying to now get more e-commerce and things. So there's pump information and there's fundamentals, because what one blogger I was talking about companies need pump and fundamentals, especially with crypto. With crypto, some people don't even care about the fundamentals of what the crypto utility can actually do. They want that pump news that Elon is tweeting or Trump is tweeting and they're giving the stock pump. So because it's giving it pump and the price is going up, that's what many people want. It's become a social thing. But fundamentals, we need to look at what the company or the utility is doing for the cryptocurrency, or the company, in this case GME. They're moving more into e-commerce and trying to expand. So they're not going bankrupt. So even though things are crashing, it could now be a long-term hold regardless. And even without it, remember back to the point of all this was the holding and not letting them squeeze, not letting them bankrupt anyone they want and things like that. And then most of all, from 9th of February, we'll see if actually, if the short interest is still high or if it's very small or what's going on. But many people are still holding, so it's interesting. I know many people might be getting scared and they call it paper hands are selling, but diamond hands are holding. So it is going down. We'll see what's going on, because market's not over, and the week's not over, and the month's not over, so there's lots going on. But on an exciting news, we got Ethereum is still going up, making new all-time highs every day. We looked at it yesterday. Remember, Ethereum is the second biggest cryptocurrency. And one thing Ethereum's doing, so Ethereum 0.1, most people are on, it's got a 2.0, like an upgrade, and it's moving to proof of stake. Because how Bitcoin works is a proof of work. In my other video, I was talking about the more nodes and computer power you have, you can have a longer chain and you can get paid as a miner for looking after the company. Because essentially both of them, what they needed, and we got here, what they needed was a way of how can we verify transactions without a third party. So this is where proof of work came for Bitcoin. So the maker of Bitcoin, which is unknown, but there's one person, Satoshi Sumo or something, some alias he goes by. But how can you verify I couldn't validate things without third parties. So this is where it became everyone in a sense the auditor. If we all connect to the system and we all can trust each other by whoever has the biggest proof of work, whoever's chain is longest, whoever's block is longer. But we can see that makes things unfair because the more rewards I get is I have put more money, I have more computing power. Whereas the proof of stake, this is different. So I can stake. So if I have 32 Ether, I can put my money. So I have to own 32 Ether. I put it there to stake, and then I'm looking after. I've got a computer that's validating things then on the computer to try and make things to verify. And if I do things wrong, I can lose my money. Things like that. And other people can also be part of it just by having 32 ETH. So it makes it more fair that you can make as much as you put. So this is a linear relation proof of stake. And the next good thing with proof of stake is Ethereum, it can stop the inflation. Because many people say Ethereum is not a good store for value because it's not limited supply, it can have so much. Although they do limit how much can go. So in their monetary policy, they've got a way of how they issue out coins. So it's not just like fiat money, you can just print when they want. Ethereum do have monetary policy on how they start printing. But it is no cap to the coins, where Bitcoin has 21 billion. That there's no more, so that's why it's more store of value because it's scarce and you can't double spend and things like that on both of them. So, but what this does do, it helps to reduce fees, it helps to reduce some of so it improves the model of how they release coins as well. So there's more talk of technically in the future, Ethereum proof of stake could end up being a better store of value than Bitcoin's proof of work, things like that. So it's very interesting. But another exciting news, Bondly. Now Bondly is one I got into ages ago because there's a thing called NFTs, and this is on my website, more information. But imagine Pokemon cards back in the day and people were collecting them, but now imagine that in a digital space. So you can own a card. And me, I didn't think I would pay this much for a card, but why I got the card was because by getting a card I got free airdrop to Bondly. So remember, Bondly is like a new, so crypto is like companies and they've got new utilities, so they're coming out with things, but to get liquidation, get some money, they need people to invest in them and things like that. So that's one incentive. Because how the stock market works, when people get IPO'd, so initial public offering to join the stock market, it's the insiders that benefit most because they got in very early. So by the time it reaches the stock market, it's already done 10x, 20x, whatever, before we can buy. So insiders made lots of money. Whereas with crypto, that's why it's even great, because now you have opportunities to get inside of companies and invest in them from early. And especially when they do free airdrops, you'll get it for free. So Bondly, by owning a card, they had one airdrop and I got like 5,000 Bondly tokens. Then they did a second airdrop. The longer you hold the card, there's 3 airdrops, I think. But by owning the card, I got about 7,000 Bondly tokens now. But why Bondly is great, because they're new NFTs, which is non-fungible tokens. Because remember, money is fungible, but these are non-fungible tokens, meaning it's about, what they're about is being able to make everything an asset. Because imagine you have an Instagram account or YouTube account and you have income coming from that, so that's worth something. That's now like an asset. Eventually, imagine if your asset or your money coming in just as much as a house. In the future, you'll be able to swap that Instagram account for a house, swap it for different assets, making it all digital. Even the owning of your house, instead of having paper deeds, you can have a card, a digital card that shows this person has the ownership, the rights of that house and things like that. It just makes sharing assets a lot easier and it's futuristic. So this is why I like Bondly as well. But they also have a collectible side game, because I think there was a kitty, crypto kitties, that one of these cards sold for like millions of pounds. So remember, there's some diehard collectors and things like that. So just on the other side of NFTs, and even Nike has the crypto kicks, and you can collect collectible cards of trainers, and you're selling it, trading it between yourselves, like Pokemon, but in a digital space. So there's all of that going on with NFTs. But the future is using it as an asset, so you can swap assets and have ownership of things depending who has the NFT. So that's the amazing thing of Bondly. But what's great about it, because remember, it's still a token that goes up and down, but now it's mooning, because with Ethereum and all these other things like altcoin season, you can see here, it's mooning. Its all-time low was 0.16, 24-hour low actually was 0.16, and it reached all-time high as well at 0.30. So it's reached all-time high, dropped a bit, and now it's trying to get back to its all-time high. You can see its all-time low is 302% from its all-time low. and it's 13% from its all-time high. So it's interesting times in the NFTs and crypto space. But remember, on my blog you can find out more about NFTs, proof of stake, and things like that as well. JonathanLeeWrights.com. But it's not just about investing in money, in crypto, in Bitcoin, in financial, in Apple, in stocks, and anything like that. It's also about investing in yourself. That's why I've got my book called Wholeness. So you can find it on Amazon. There's a link below, and you can also subscribe for my other book called You Are Rich, because like I said, it's all about investing in yourself. Learn how to play the same game the rich do, because we all can make money, but it's hard to keep money. We need to think about how we work on our procrastination or organization, how we work on our wounds and our hurts and things keeping us away from success, and many things to be able to even pass money on to our generation and help them to keep the money, because you can make a lot of money, pass it on to your children, but they don't have to keep it. So we also need to be able to have generational wealth, but make people understand how to play the same game the rich do, by adapting, by understanding capitalism. So you can subscribe for that. I've also got a link for my Telegram group where I give daily nuggets and things like that on bits and some little things. So you can subscribe for that and have a great day. Think about your well-being. Watch this space. The war's not over. We'll see. So it unfolds. So remember, we're here Monday, Thursday, and Friday. So Monday we're going to see what happens.